So your objective is to write equations from graphs. Now this might be something you already know how to do, hopefully, from Algebra 1. Hopefully today's an easy day, easy-ish, without headphones in, please. Okay. That means if this is super easy, one-sided assignment, you get that done, you can work on the other things you need to get done, not on catching up with gossip and other things that y'all do. So the announcement for today is that we have a quiz tomorrow. And I promise it's not going to be that hard because it's over slope, which y'all just explained it to me in your warm-up, right? So the slope from 2 points, from a table, and from a graph. None of that's new. We already did that all that. Okay. So whether you're using the equation or you're counting rise over run or you're doing the bird beaks, you should be able to do slope. Okay. Now, what else? So the stuff you need to turn in from last week is these first two right here, and then from yesterday is this one right here. Okay. So make sure you think about those 3 assignments. They're not in the grade book yet, but they will be. I'm working on it. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, wouldn't you know, I counted 29 calculators. Now, sometimes people leave them in weird places, but I didn't see it in a weird place. So if you by accident took it home because you needed to work on some math, please bring that back. That'd be great. Okay. Okay. All I'm saying is if you have it, bring it back. I need 30 at the end of the day every day. So that's all I have to say about that. So number 1 was just to remind you to grab it on the way in, okay, which was implied. You need to put it back on the way out, okay? So if we need to have a militaristic regimen to get calculated at the end of class because people do stupid stuff, we can get there, but we're not there yet. We're just going to say, if you have a calculator by accident, bring it back. Now, number 2, you wrote your sentence, which is great. A great sentence. Okay, I walked around and took a look at it. Now, here's the notes for today. I guess I should pass them out to you, right? Looks like this. Okay. I bet you once we get started with that, oh yeah, I remember that. Y equals mx plus b. I know what m is. I know what b is, right? Let's see, let's see. What we're going to do is, I'm going to do the top 2 with you as like a little mini notes, and then you're going to do 1 through 8, and then you're going to work on making sure your grade is up. If you don't know what your grade is, you can check scores. And then you think about whether you turn in the 3 assignments, the 2 from last week and the 1 earlier this week. From, I think 2 today. Could be wrong. All right, here we go. Writing equation, write the equation from each line. Now, y'all know what we've been doing is kind of Algebra 1 stuff. It's y equals mx plus b, right? What does m start with? Or sorry, what does m stand for, I should say? Slope, kind of like m for mountain, mountain slope. That's what we think of. And then b stands for y-intercept, which is the beginning of a graph at the y-axis. Okay, so here we go. We need to find m and b, and then we can have an equation, mx plus b. Now, we already did the first thing, m, as a class. We had an assignment on graphs. You count the rise over run. You know how to find slope, hopefully. Let's take a look at this. There's one, at least on my page, red dot. On your page, you can kind of see it's shaded in. There's 1 dot right there, 1 point. We need to pick another point on the grid. Not barely off the grid, not definitely off the grid, on the grid, okay? So the next one I see is right here at 2, 0. Y'all agree? Now, when we do slope on a graph, think about it like you read, left to right. Okay, so I'm going to pick this point on the left, and I'm going to rise, and then I'm going to run. If I rise up, it's positive. If I rise down, that's negative, right? So this one rises which way? Up, how many? 1. And, okay, if you pick a different point, it might be 2, but I'm picking those 2 points. Did you pick a different point? Okay, that just goes up 1. Sorry, the rise is 1. Now the run is how much? 2. Make sure you do rise over run, not run over rise, not x over y, but it's change in y over change in x, rise over run. So my m is what? 1 over 2, rise over run, okay? Now b we said is y-intercept. Y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, which is straight up and down. So we're on the straight up and down y-axis, does it cross? -1. Right? A lot of people forget negatives, and that's bad. Okay. So again, if it's below the axis, it's negative. -1. Okay. So if I have m and I have b, well then I just write mx plus b and I'm done. That's it. So y equals m, which is 1/2, x plus -1, or just okay. Y equals 1/2 x minus 1. All right, you can do that. Let's do one more together since I heard someone say no. All right, on the next one, I need to find m, I need to find b. So I have 1 point already right here. I need to pick another point on the grid. So there's 2 you could pick. Okay, now right around here, those aren't points. They're kind of barely off the grid, right? But you could pick -5, 0, or you could pick 5, -4. Either of those work. Okay, doesn't matter. You'll get the same slope when you reduce it. Okay, now I'm gonna pick the one over here. So I always start at the left point so I don't get messed up. Okay, so my left point is 0, -2. Which way does it rise? Down. Rising down doesn't make any sense. It's kind of weird. So that we have to know that means what? Down means what? Negative. Negative what? Negative what? 2. Okay. And you always run positive to the right. So how much does it run? Sorry. 5. So what's my rise over run? What's my slope? -2 over 5. All right. And then my b, where does it cross the y-axis? Right here, right? Which is -2. So once I have an m and a b, just write y equals mx plus b. No big deal, right? NBD, bruh. Y equals -2 over 5 x minus 2. Could you do that on your own, 1 through 8? Okay, I didn't make it a whole 2-page thing. Then you might have to challenge you again, missing work, check skyward, or things that you didn't do earlier in the week or last week. So, questions on what to do today? That's not a question about what we're doing today. Okay, I'm gonna end this. So, okay, so that's what we're doing today.